Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to another episode of Chalk Talk with me, your host, JB. I have Shepherd University starting quarterback, Harlan Hill winner, the GOAT, Travis. Nah, I'm just playing. Tyson, Bagent. What's up, bud? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Oh man, it's an honor for us to have you. And I know that you're taking on 1-4 Lock Haven this weekend. First, I want to talk about. I spoke to your coach McCook earlier this week, and he talked about the Shepherd way. Because I asked him how is it that he prepares his team for a game where you're number 4 in the country and you're playing a 1-4 team. So can you just talk with us a little about the Shepherd way that you guys prepare for a game week in and week out?
Yeah, as soon as you said kind of like the Shepherd way, immediately my mind just goes to all the big games that they've been able to win traditionally over this past decade, and it's easy to get caught up in the hype. Being a highly rated team in the country, and you're going against a team that hasn't had very good luck this year. But it's all about the standard of how you want to win games. Like we could easily go win this game and not put forth our best effort and kind of leave kind of feeling more disgusted than happy at how we won the game. So that's kind of what I've been preaching all week, just kind of how, like, as an offense, how do we want to leave the field on Saturday? Do we just want to leave with a win, or do we want to be happy about what we were able to accomplish? And it's also, we're trying to win big games this year, and you're only going to win big games if you continue to get better each week. So it's another week to be able to put up a dominant performance as one of the best offenses in the country, and another week to get better as a team, leading up into conference championships and playoffs, and trying to win a national championship.
Yeah, so it's safe to say that you don't want to just win. You want to win, but execute at a prolific way throughout the game. You don't want to just walk off and say, "Hey, we won," but you want to get better each and every week. It sounds like that is really the Shepherd way. My question for you is how important was it for you to stay home and continue the Shepherd way? Because I'm sure you've seen it over the years. Your father, as I mentioned earlier, Travis went to Shepherd. How important was it to you to stay home and not leave the area?
Yeah, I think it was vital, and it was vital for me and my life, and what I've been able to accomplish since deciding to stay a Shepherd. My family's here. I'm established here. I've got a good situation, and I know that the scouts are going to be here to watch. Whether I would have transferred to somewhere big or whether I would have stayed, the scouts would have. Um, they're going to come and they're going to see me, and they're going to get to know everything they need to know. And I think for me to be in a place that I love, with people all around me that I love, I think it's allowed me to be able to flourish in a way that I don't think I would have gotten if I would have went somewhere that I was unfamiliar with. Um, and I think I'm able to see my family all the time, which I think plays a huge role in my success. I get to see my I got 3 young siblings that are growing up every day, and being able to see them grow up, not through a phone but in person, I think has also been huge, and me being able to play the way that I do on Saturdays.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it definitely worked out for you a lot. And I want to talk about your offense. And I know that everything starts up front. The line of scrimmage sets the tone of football. And speaking of somebody staying home, how is it to play with a fellow Martinsburg Bulldog, Todd Lucas, who's plays, I think, guard for you guys? How is it to be able to have that connection with somebody that you've known over the years?
Yeah, I think it's unique in the sense of, like, I was a couple years older than Ty Lucas. So especially in high school, dudes grow up fast in high school. So he was a little bit younger. He was a sophomore. I was a senior. So we weren't necessarily very tight, but I could see in his sophomore year that he did have the size and ability to be very good. And then obviously, being a huge Martinsburg fan ever since I graduated and ever since I played there, coming and watching the games, seeing him come into the player that he did become, um, it's pretty cool to look up front and see not only him but also Adam Steely, who I played with at Martinsburg, um, both starting on the O line, and kind of just shows how good of a job Martinsburg does, as well as how hard that each of us have worked to get to this point.
All right, I got one more question for you about your offense, and then I want to ask you a little bit about yourself. How is it to have the ability to just turn around and hand the ball off to a Ronnie Brown and know that he can go for 80, he can go for 50, and he can punch it in from two, taking the relief off you that you don't have to throw it 50 times, but you can turn around and you guys can still be effective throughout the year.
Yeah, I think, and it's yeah, it's in the run game, but it's even not in the run game, just what other things he's able to do. I think he's a threat in the pass game. He's a threat on special teams. Really, he's just he's when he got to Shepherd, he was not an amazing player. He had good abilities, but he wasn't an amazing player. And I think he's kind of taken that upon himself to continue to get better every year. And now being able to, hand the ball off and not know whether it could be a touchdown at any moment. So I think being able to keep drives alive, being able to be a high powered, you know, offense, it all kind of runs through not only me, but then also being able to hand him the ball and see him do amazing, make things out of nothing. So it definitely takes a lot of, it's definitely a relief. And I think it's part of the reason that we're undefeated is all his capabilities.
Well, I want to focus a little bit on you now. And I know when I spoke to Coach McCook, I asked him about what it's like having the ability to say, hey, man, listen, on 4th and 2, 4th and whatever, I'm going to run with you, the Harlan Hill Trophy winner, that he can just have all the confidence in the world that you can do what you can do. I want you for a minute just to talk about your preparation that's taking you to the place that you are today, to where all of your dreams and aspirations are at hand because of the way you prepare for the game.
Yeah, I think whether it's in season, out of season, I kind of you know take it upon myself to just take advantage of the day, and I think along with that, making sure I'm prepared in all facets of the game, mentally, physically, um, as well as all the repetitions that I've been able to receive throughout my career, and then really becoming the best player in the country. Um, it's been great, and I'm sure if I was a head coach, I would be very relieved if I had a guy like me on the field, just somebody that you can trust on 4th down. That you rather the ball be in their hands than in the field goal kicker's hands, like no matter where you're at on the field. And I think it's that also, like having that trust and having that relationship, with not only him but all the coaches on the staff, just making sure that I'm proving to them every day that they can trust me, that I care about this more than almost everything in my life, and that I'm willing to do whatever it takes in order to be successful. And I think that's kind of them trusting me like that has, I think, played a huge part in my successes that I've been able to see on the field these past couple of years.
All right, let's talk for a moment for the young high school kid that's aspiring to be what you are today. And I don't think a lot of parents and athletes really understand what it takes to be a college athlete. Can you
Mhm.
just go and take us through one day? Like, what is your typical day from the point you wake up to the point that you go sleep? Can you just explain what it is that you do every day that causes you to be a Harlan Hill winner, to be a great quarterback, to be a captain leader? What does it take to be a great student athlete in college?
Well, I think, first and foremost, you got to create, a designated space for classwork. Because if you don't, you can find yourself falling behind, very quickly, especially, during football season where, you're getting things thrown at you. You got places you need to be, new plays you need to learn. We're traveling on these days, all these things. So if you don't designate, a time to be able to handle your schoolwork, um, you're digging yourself a hole right there. And then, everything I do, I'm a little bit older now, so it's a little bit probably a little odd to some high school kids probably listening, but every day, I make sure I read something, I make sure I pray. And then, after that, I make sure I'm either getting in the sauna or I'm taking a ice bath. And then, from then, I'm working out. And then after that, after I kind of take care of everything that I want to do personally, then it's time to, we got meetings, we got treatment, keeping my arm intact, keeping it, feeling good and ready to go. And then meetings and practice. So that, I mean, that all that is what a typical day in season looks like. And really, it's going to be terrible, but as long as you love it, it's just some things that you have to do. So I would first advise that you don't play college sports unless you love it, and then if you do love it, just really take advantage, because there's opportunities everywhere. There's things that you can really take advantage of, if you truly want to. So really just staying focused, staying locked in, and really understanding that um it's the most important thing in your life at this time in your life. So just take advantage of it and make sure you love it.
Well, we know your time is coming to an end at Shepherd University, and you guys were in the Final Four last year. So, are you really taking in everything that you're going through right now, like each and every game, each and every play? Do you realize that it's almost over and that you're really trying to make the best of it, or are you just not even focusing on that and just focusing on each week? Like, what is your mindset going into these last couple of games?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's easy to you know kind of just let it kind of pass me by, because I'm so, maybe just my mind is in other places, like, oh, need to make sure I do this week, and make sure I do it every week, because I know I'm at a small school. I know I'm at a disadvantage for, being able to make it to the pros. So it's easy to get caught up in stressing out about, results and stuff like that. But I think I've done a good job of just letting myself be in the moment and kind of understanding that, whatever really is going to happen, it's going to happen. Like my life has been written out far before I lived it, and whatever's going to happen, is going to happen. And I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever. So really just appreciating these last couple months that I got, here playing football at Shepherd. Really, really appreciating everybody that I've come into contact with since being at Shepherd. Making sure that I'm keeping up with everybody that I love and appreciate. My family. I wouldn't, obviously wouldn't be here without them. And they're really just trying to take it all in and understand that even when something's not going, even when something sucks, it's like this is the last time that I'm gonna do it. So just taking it all in. There's no more guaranteed football after this year. And I know that, and I'm aware of that, and I'm fighting every day to make that not the case. But I know that is a reality for 95% of senior athletes, and on all levels. So yeah, I think I'm doing a good job of taking it all in, keeping all the things that stress me out at bay, and really just trying to win as many games as possible.
Well, we appreciate you, taking time here. Us at Home Team Sports, man, we're looking forward to covering you guys on Saturday for our first college football games. Coverage starts at 11 o'clock. You guys kick off at 12. We want to wish you the best. You are another example of what we like to see in Home Team Sports, where we like our athletes to excel both on and off the field. I want to wish you luck on our behalf and the best of luck for the rest of the season.
My man, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you.